There we go. All right, back in. Oops, let's pull this out. Make sure I'm all cute. All right, hopefully we have our connection back now. And sorry for that. Okay, cool. Okay, I hope you can hear me now. Sorry about that. No matter who I tell, or I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, somebody always calls me at 11 o'clock or sometime during the middle of the live, every single time. It seems like it never fails. But anyhow, so I was just saying that, stepping into this new cycle, this new season, I hope has been like powerful and, positive for everybody. Thank you, sis. And no matter how everybody celebrates, whether you celebrate by, staying home and resting, or rebelling against the ruling class system and their forcing of this as the new year, or whether this is the actual new year and you take it for what it is and have fun with it. I hope that yours was enjoyable. I wanted to just say something briefly too about the new year, because I got so many, because I'm, being connected in this community where everybody's, tapped into their spiritual system. And I spent years, saying, in the same cycle of rebellion against, no, this is not the new year year's in spring. And actually in my work with Wajet, and Wajet is the goddess who I'm initiated to, for everybody who's, just connecting with me for the first time. I am initiated to Goddess Wajet, the serpent goddess. She is her counterpart in the Hindu yoga lineage would be Kundalini. And she is a fire goddess. And her energy is the energy that is responsible for the shift, for change, for growth, for expansion. When the wheel of the year turns and starts to move toward the light, from the darkness toward the light, that is her. When our bodies awaken into our own spirituality and we connect with the higher levels of our beings, the other dimensions of our beings, she is the goddess who initiates that awakening, and so opens up from the tailbone, waves that, hey daughter, thanks for being here. She is the one who initiates that awakening, that energy and that movement. So in connection with her, and actually in the cycle, in the process of learning and understanding how the cycle moves through the year, how the serpent power energy moves not only through our bodies, but actually moves through the earth and the earth's cycles. This is the new year. So right after the solstice, 5 days after the solstice, is the beginning of the process of the new year. It is the time when the energy is first awakened, so it uncoils from the base. So just like in the tailbone, the last bottom bone, it's a little triangular bone, and that last bottom bone is where the energy is stored. And there are the tailbone is made up of actually 5 bones. So the serpent power is coiled in the bottom bone, and that bottom bone correlates in the earth energy. It correlates to the solstice, so to the winter solstice. So that's the space when the longest day, the shortest day of the year, and the longest night of the year, and the energy is coiled tightly at that time. The solar energy that powers the earth, that gives everything life, that energy is at its lowest point. And those 5 days, so that short cycle, that moon cycle from the solstice coming into the next, that lunar phase right there, that is the same as the phase of when we open. So when that energy opens up the tailbone and begins coiling and circling its way around in a helix around our spine and going up and opening into our awakening, the earth goes through the same process every year. So every single winter cycle, that's opening up and it starts to uncoil. So that point when the solar energy is at the lowest is just like, so when the lunar energy is at its lowest, we call that the new moon. And at the new moon, when the lunar energy is the lowest, that is the time that we make, we like set our intentions for the month ahead. We do cleansing, we do releasing, all of that work. So the new moon is for that. The purpose of the new moon is for that type of energy, for those type of intentions, for that type of shift. And so in the same way that the lunar energy at the new moon, when the moon's energy is at its lowest, is the time for setting intentions and for creating new fulfillments, new cycles of fulfillment. The solar energy goes through the same cycle. So the solar energy is at its lowest at the winter solstice. And just in that cycle, just after the winter solstice, as it starts to open and expand, is the time for setting intentions. And so just like we set lunar intentions, we set solar intentions during that time. And we have come to call those solar intentions the New Year's resolutions. So we turn the wheel of the year. The wheel of the year is set to that space on purpose, intentionally, by people who understood the cycles of time and the understood seasons, cycles, and movement, and how when we connect our energy to the seasons and cycles of Earth, by tapping into those energies, we actually move in flow instead of moving against flow. So by moving in correlation with the way the Earth's energy already moves, it's just like jumping into a river. We can jump into a river and we can just get into a little boat or get some swimmy arms on or something like that, and we can just let go, and we can actually, if we move with the flow of the river, it will take us toward where it's going. Or we can jump in at any point and we can say, well, I want to be over there, and we can fight the river and we can swim upstream and we can push ourselves against rocks and we can fight the flow and we can get to where it is we're trying to go. But it's a much more difficult journey to do that. So everything is possible, but it is much more difficult. So if we have the intention to move in alignment, to move in a life of ease and flow and connection, then setting our intentions to move in flow with the Earth cycles makes much more sense. So setting these solar intentions, aka New Year's resolutions, actually help us to shift our energies. Hey, greetings. That helps us shift our intentions and move in flow with the Earth cycles, and it makes the process a lot more easy. So to everybody who is still in a state of rebellion against, the government for setting up this as New Year's, or for the system or whatever we want to call it, and say that, I don't celebrate New Year's. That's that's a holiday that outside of my religion or outside of my beliefs. This New Year, this solar cycle, the time of this was set up by people who understood, so we can just move with it. And so I just wanted to share that. Because I did get so many messages from people saying, well, we know this isn't the new year, but, Happy New Year anyway. And I was like, actually, after working with Wajet, these past 7 years, these specific, I've worked with her for longer than that, but over these past 7 years, that understanding and that real tuning in to the Earth's cycles and the power that we get automatically just by tuning into it. It's like plugging in a toaster. Like once it's plugged in, it's just automatically working. It just automatically works so much better than when it's sitting there. You can't get toast out of an unplugged toaster, and you can't manifest a certain level of power when you are not tuned in. You can burn through your own power. You can use your own will. And you will get some results doing that. The same thing with all things, with your health. You can get results from health by counting calories, by hiring a fitness coach, by doing those kind of things. But you will get the most results by tapping into all of the dimensions, all of the cycles available, by understanding the biorhythm of the body, how the body moves at different seasons, how eating with different seasons, eating food that's in season. You will get much more by eating food that's in season and by eating a balanced meal. And by balanced meal, I'm talking about the tastes, because the way we are supposed to eat, the way we are designed to eat, the reason why we have a tongue in the front of our entire digestive tract is because the tongue senses the flavor that's coming onto it, and it sends messages through the body, and those messages tell the body like how to respond to whatever is about to go in. So when we eat something that's sweet, there's a certain physical response taking place. When we eat something salty, when we eat something bitter, when we eat sour, when we eat spicy, there are different responses for all of those. And to eat a balanced meal means having a balanced palate. So that means all of those taste elements are available. So but in one entire meal, all of the taste elements should come into your meal. You will get way more benefit out of eating seasonal foods and eating in every meal, making sure that there is sweet, salty, bitter, sour, spicy somewhere in your plate, than you will by counting calories eternally. And like I said, you can get results. You can get results by doing things using your will and using strictly earth-based elements, earth-based tools, but using all of the dimensions and plugging into nature will take you into like a far deeper and greater state of health than just by doing those things. So and in the same way, so all of the ways of plugging in will take you more with ease and flow and grace, will take you into the cycles and to take you into the space of where you're trying to go than trying to force it. There's no need to force things. You know, I was speaking with somebody. I have a prosperity course that I actually just launched, and in this course, you know, we talk about the cycles of developing abundance, about developing wealth, and we can go and read the same thing like with diet. We can go and we can push all of those things. We can study the books and we can look at the credit and we can do those things. But if somewhere inside of us doesn't feel like we deserve to be wealthy, or doesn't feel like wealth should come unless we work very hard, like all of the old mindset, the old financial paradigm that was handed down to us by the parasites who are the ruling class now, we have old mindsets based around that. And if we believe in those mindsets, we will actually rebel and reject the wealth, the abundance that comes to us. So if we want those things, then it's better to move in flow, to move in cycles with those things. So we can study all the credit, but if in here somewhere is like, oh, I don't know if that's right, or, you know, I'm spiritual, I'm not supposed to have money. You know, if we believe those things somewhere in the core of our being, we're not going to get the things that we want, no matter how much paperwork we fill out, no matter how many things we do, no matter how many YouTube videos we watch and we follow all the steps of credit repair and everything. All we will do is take ourselves right back down into the same cycle that we started at. That's why there are people who win the lottery and they'll literally within 5 years of getting, you know, $1 million, they'll be broke again, and sometimes even more broke than before. Wealth and health and all of those things, all of those elements are things that are generated from inside of us, and they're generated inside of us based on movement in ease and flow, and they're like pulled away from us when we struggle, when we force, when we push, when we squeeze, because the forcing comes from a space of not believing that we actually can attain those things. So when we try to push it and we try to will our way in and we try to get it like that, that's not the way in. The less we work, the more we get. And it's crazy and counterintuitive, but it is actually real. Because allowing is just like plugging in the toaster. There's infinite abundance. You can take a toaster and you can bang that thing and you could breathe hot breath on it. You could do anything to try to make that toast get hot inside there. It won't. All you have to do is plug it in. With the one simple act of plugging it in, all of the power that gets downloaded into it makes it function. So for us, tapping into a bigger power than what we are generating from inside of us is the way to get those things into our lives without having to force and push and try. And what I was saying in the course to someone was that what we have been taught to believe is the right way is to, like, for example, if you're washing dishes and let's say you have a pan, you left it out on the stove overnight, it's got food crusted down in the bottom of it, and you can pick up that pan, you can take it straight to the sink, and you can grab the sponge and start scrubbing and scraping, and you can make the dirt come off the pan by scrubbing and scraping and everything, and putting all your force into it. You can get that pot clean. But if you take the pan, the pot, and you just fill it with water, let it soak, and just allow it a little bit of time, just allow it. And then you come back to it. Sometimes you can rinse it and it's almost clean. You didn't have to put any effort. So that's the same thing with these elements in life. We can put the energy that's needed onto what it is that we're seeking to happen. We can just open up to the energy. We can open up to the water, just fill with the water. We can use the fire. In this example, I work with a fire goddess, using this fire, this heart detox that we do every day, this fire purification is like setting the water in the pot. It's just cleaning off whatever isn't there without us having to force and push and try. So we don't have to beat ourselves down to stop these addictions. We don't have to fight ourselves to try to make our life change. If we just clean out the things that don't belong there, and we just let it soak in that energy, it will remove itself. It will remove itself. It will dissolve back to the universe on its own. A lot of times we feel like we have to force and push and try, and if we don't force and push and try, then it's not real, or we don't deserve it, or we feel guilty if we get it like in an easy way. And that we have to let that go. As this time is progressing, we're moving into different earth cycles. The earth's energy is changing. The zodiac energy is changing. That Piscean age belief that we have to force and try and deserve and earn is fading, and the energy of allowing and the prosperity that comes with that is already here. It's already present. There are already people tapping into that. That's why I got 6-year-olds on YouTube unwrapping toys and getting, $1 million a year from doing that. That's allowing. That's people who have just tapped into the energy that is already here. Because just like when I was a child and my mother passed, when I was 8, she passed, and the day we buried her, my mother came back to me and spoke to me. And so before I had a chance for anyone to tell me like ghosts aren't real and when you die you're just dead, before anyone had a chance to try to fill my brain with those falsehoods, I witnessed something, I experienced something that set the tone for my entire life. Like I already knew that it was possible. I was born knowing that was possible. I arrived knowing that when you die, you're not just dead. I arrived knowing that spirits can speak to you from another dimension, that there is still connection and communication possible and available. And in the same way that was like automatically downloaded into me, that awareness and understanding, these children now are being born with the awareness and understanding that prosperity does not have to be earned. You don't have to earn it. You just have to open to it by doing what you love. So because all of us were born in an era where that energy still wasn't fully present, we are still unlearning all of the habits of that age. So these kind of things, doing heart meditation, doing this heart detox, is removing from us the type of stuff that we didn't want to be there. It's removing from us those things. So having said all that, let's jump in. Let's do today's heart meditation, and let's go ahead and start removing. This is 2023, for whatever year it actually is, and whatever count, wherever your count begins, it is a new solar cycle that is emerging, and each solar cycle brings higher and higher frequencies to Earth, and the frequency is at a place now where we need to tap into a different way of moving and connecting and being with what's here. So let's go ahead and get started. So today the frequency, that I have, it disappeared off the screen there. I'll share the frequency there, but this is a frequency of detox. It's of release. It's of letting go of old ways of being and breaking down by frequency. Just like you can use, they have like sonic toothbrushes where you can get a sonic toothbrush, and the vibration, the sound frequency of it breaks down the particles in the teeth and remove it. And so sometimes, people will say like, oh, sound frequencies, that stuff is so woo-woo, and sound frequency, scientifically, they're using sound frequencies to actually destroy cancer cells. They're using light frequencies to reset people's thyroids. So, lasers, people get LASIK, eye surgery and things like that. So light and sound are already being harnessed and used. There are sonic waves, there are sonic bombs. You can make a sonic boom and change people's eardrums can be destroyed from sound that they can't even actually hear on the physical plane. Like our ears aren't even tuned to a frequency that high or that low, so we can't even actually hear it, and then yet it can still penetrate us to a way that it actually can blow up people's eardrums. So to say that sound frequencies are woo-woo, or that that doesn't work, that's fake or anything, is to really have like that's from a real lack of awareness of what sound actually, of the physics of sound and how it actually functions. All the work I do, all the tools that I use are things that are, because I'm a Sagittarius. I need everything logic, clear, scientific. I need to understand why and how it works, or else I'm not going to use it and I'm not going to believe in it. I need to know that things work. So it either needs to be fully explained to me and verifiable with the laws of physics, or it needs to happen to me experientially so that I am fully certain that it is possible, and then I can go back and then I can verify it with physics. So yes, so having said all that, so sound frequencies do work. They are the most powerful when you take them with headphones and you put them right into your ear, and so that there are no other like sound interferences happening, so that the sound is going directly into you. And the sound frequencies work both with your brain, and they interact with your electromagnetic field around your heart. And so they're especially powerful if you want to make changes in your life without having to force and push and try. The best way to do that is to get yourself a sound frequency, play them right before bed when your brain waves are in a low vibrating state, like so that there's a lot of open space for those frequencies to kind of penetrate and soak into you. They really do help, and they really do work. And there are sound frequencies for absolutely everything. You can get sound frequencies for everything from dissolving kidney stones to calling in wealth energy, like everything in between. These frequencies are really, really powerful. So every day I've been sharing a specific sound frequency that goes with the heart meditation that we're doing. So I'll share this one today again. So let me put that down a little bit, and let's go ahead and get started with our meditation. And you may wonder also, if you're tuning in for the first time, seeing this for the first time, and haven't seen the other videos, because let's see, today is Tuesday. We are on day 26 today. We have 2 more days of the heart detox, and then we will be moving on to another element of the body. And make sure that when you do these heart meditations, these heart detox, that you drink a lot of water. Make sure that you get as much rest as you need, because you may find your body shifting and may find that you're tired suddenly and you don't know why. You may find that your mood is off. There are a lot of ways that detoxifying expresses itself. So sometimes a lot of the tiredness is really, really common because our body needs to rest, because it's making massive shifts. And it's got to reset the nerves, it's got to reset the hormonal system. All of these different aspects in our body need to realign with who we're becoming as we do this detoxification. It is 2023. We cannot be dragging around heartbreak from 2014. We can't be still suffering in some loss that we experienced in 2007. Like we cannot be still continuing to drag our past in these massive baggage with us, and expect to have a life where we feel free and abundant and connected and like aware of our own power, aware of our own joy. Like, it's time to let all that other stuff go. We cannot, until we soak the pot, we can't get under there and actually feel like all of us, by your existence, you deserve a life of joy, of freedom, and of abundance. Automatically, those things are your birthright. And just because something is your birthright doesn't mean you don't have to still go through cycles and go through a process in order to get it. But you deserve it. You have already earned it by choosing to come here to Earth. By choosing to come here and being aware of your own existence, you have already tapped into some of the frequency necessary for you to own and claim and live in the joy, the peace, the abundance, the bliss, to live in all of those states. You don't have to fight and you don't have to force. So let's go ahead and just clear out and just to continue allow. And if today is your first time joining, thank you for being here. And I encourage you to go back in, to start from day one, because every day I like to just talk a little bit about, just to share a few things. So it's the meditation itself, and you definitely, at least every day, I encourage you for 28 days for one moon cycle to do the meditation on your own. If you don't have time to watch all the videos, but if you want to tap in and just kind of understand the heart space, the frequency of the heart, and what is important to heart healing, then definitely I encourage you to tap in. Go back to day one, and you can catch all of the videos in this series. I've also got stuff coming up on YouTube. I will be getting these videos onto YouTube as a collection, and so you'll be able to access them there, because I know on Instagram you can only get it for a certain amount of time. But while these are on here, please also, I encourage you to watch them, all of them, but also share these videos. Anybody who you know who needs heart healing, anybody who is struggling, anybody who is, and heart healing doesn't mean just somebody, went through a bad breakup and now they're in pain. If you know anybody who's broke, that's heart damage, that they need heart healing. If you know somebody whose health is not in a great space, that's heart damage. All of the things begin and end with the heart. Anybody who is not vibrating at a frequency of joy and enjoying their life and feeling a life of flow and ease, and doesn't mean that challenges won't come, but we can flow through challenges gracefully also. So it doesn't mean like a life of no challenges, because that's not healthy either. That just leads to like atrophy. It's like never using your muscles. They just become like bland and mushy, if you don't use them. And so the same way. So we need challenges. Challenges help to keep that muscle growing, to keep the patience and keep the strength and the resilience and all that growing. So please share this to anybody. Share it privately, share it to your page. And please like and please comment and let me know if you have been tuning in for it. Let me know what day you're on today. Let me know whether you've watched any of the other videos, and if you have experienced yet anything, any detox symptoms, or experienced any wins, any victories from off of doing these. I have people message me every day since I started this with really incredible stories of transformation and breakthrough and releasing blockages. Like, it's really, really powerful, and I'm super grateful to be able to share this space with you all. So anyhow, let's get going. Just for anybody tuning in for the first time today, the camera is reversed, so just you're going to bring your right hand. So right hand goes up here, so press that arm against your side, and the right palm is facing forward. Left hand goes in front of the heart, about 4 to 6 inches in front, and then you're going to move another 4 to 6, and then another 4 to 6, and then inhale back. And the chant that goes with this is Tum Ta Haru. Inhale back, Tum Ta Haru. And the chant, if you want to know more about the chant, I think in video day 4, I explain the Kemetic chanting and the power of using Kemetic language and how that chant interacts with the movement that we're doing. So if you want, go back to day 4, grab that video, and there's a deeper explanation in there. But this is a powerful heart detoxifying movement and chant combination. And this is Wajet Yoga. So I created, through Wajet downloading into me, I created Wajet Yoga as a blend of different yoga. I'm a certified Kundalini yoga teacher, and I have also studied Hatha Yoga in India, studied Bikram Yoga, and the Wajet Yoga is a connection between all of those. And it is because I'm a Kemetic priestess, all of the science, the Kemetic science, has been infused into Wajet Yoga. And so that's why these are all so incredibly powerful. Heart purifier, heart detox. Let's go ahead and get started. So arm up here, hand in front, and then just close your eyes so that you can go within and just focus your attention on your heart space and just think about that electromagnetic sphere, that energy pulsing as your heart beats, and it creates this electromagnetic frequency, this field that just sits out just about a foot in every direction around your heart. When your heart space is really full and clear, that heart energy goes out about 2 feet. That field goes out about 2 feet around your heart in every direction. It's a really amazing thing to witness if you have a certain type of light photography, to actually see the heart field and the heart frequency that it's available to have. It's really amazing. So go ahead and just take a deep breath in. Focus your energy on your heart and pull up from the root. Pull a deep breath up from the earth, up into your heart space, and just ground your heart with that breath. And then exhale that breath down into the earth. And just lock that breath down into the earth like a seatbelt buckle, like a belt buckle. Just lock it, connect it down to the earth. It's very important to ground yourself and ground yourself, your heart, ground your body, ground your mind, or sometimes the frequencies and the shift that you go through can actually knock you off balance. So it's really important to do these things slowly, to do it with somebody who can guide you through the process, to do it with somebody who can translate the process for you as you go through the clearing and the healing and the cleansing, and to remain fully connected and grounded at all times with it. Deep breath in again and fill your whole heart space. Breathe that breath out, a foot in every direction around your heart. You can breathe up deep green light to fill your heart area. And this time exhale through the front of your heart into your hand. One more deep breath in, fill your heart. And then exhale that breath into your hand in front of you. And just as we begin, just go ahead and set the intention of what you want your heart space to show to the world. How do you want to show up today for the world? How do you want to show up for yourself? What do you want to release today in this meditation today that's going to help you get closer to that goal? Set that intention of clearing. And let's go ahead and begin. Deep breath in and chant Tum Ta Ru, 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 tum ta ru. Last one, tum ta ru. Deep breath in, bring your hand back to your heart. Deep breath in and hold. Bring your left hand on top of your heart and bring your right hand over that to support it. And exhale through your mouth. And again, deep breath in. And exhale through your mouth. One more time. Deep breath in and fill your heart with that deep green light. And wash that pot out. Just allow the pot to soak. Just exhale and release. Allow everything that no longer serves you to just dissolve away from your being. You don't need to force. You don't need to push. You don't need to try. All you need to do is just breathe and release. Allow yourself the space. Offer yourself the patience, the same patience that you have to have towards life and towards other situations outside of yourself that you can't control. Allow yourself that same patience, that same space, and that same respect for the things that no longer just serve you to just dissolve in their own way and at their own time. All you have to do is set the intention and then allow, and just allow. And just let it release. And one more deep breath in. And this time we're going to open our eyes, bring our hands up. Arms are going to go up. So the fingers are curled in here and the thumbs are facing out. Arms are nice and straight in a Y shape that's going straight down to your heart. And we're going to do the fire breath. So fire breath, for anybody joining us for the first time, you're going to pump from the navel and breathe in and out through your nose. And this breath, this purification breath, is just releasing us. It's releasing our ego, releasing our lower nature, disconnecting that lower nature from the heart in any way that is not in balance and in alignment with who it is that we want to be, who we want to show up for, to ourselves and to others around us, to the world, for our own destiny, however we want to show up in the world. Anything that is no longer serving you, it's time to let it go. It's time to release it. And you just get out of your own way and let it go on its own. Don't pull it, don't drag it, don't force it, don't chase it, don't kick it, don't bite it, don't scream at it. Just set your intention and then get out of the way. Deep breath in and go ahead and start the fire breath. Deep breath in and hold. And bring your hands up over your head, tap the thumbs together, and then pop the hands open. Exhale through your mouth. And bring your palms down, open fingers wide. Just exhale that breath, release that breath out your shoulders, down through your arms, out through your palms. Exhale it down into the floor, out through the floor, down into the earth, and let Mama Earth take that from you. And transmute that just like we breathe that carbon dioxide out and let the trees and plants take that from us and transmute it and return oxygen back. The earth is an amazing magnetic transmuter of energy, and when you exhale things and give it back to the earth, it is able to transmute that breath. She is able to transmute, they are able to transmute that energy that you release and turn it into something that is serving in another way somewhere else. If you do nothing else today, just commit to show up for yourself in the way that you want to be, in the way that you want, not by anybody else's opinion, judgment, disrespect, by nobody else's energy, nothing of what the social media is telling you, nothing of what TV says you should be, nothing what the magazines are saying, how you should dress, how you should show up, what work to do, how you need to be, not any boss, not any magazine, not any TV show, not any commercial. Just commit to showing up for yourself as yourself today. In this time of new year, in this time of solar rebirth, while the solar energy is low and you have time to look at yourself away from the light, while you have time to sit with your own darkness and access who you are in all those dark shadow places. Access those dark shadow places and decide for yourself what you want to release and what you want to keep. Which aspects of yourself do you want to be and hold and continue with, and what aspects do you want to release, let go, and shift and reshape into something new. Bring the right hand up and place it over your heart, and then bring the left hand up on top to support. Take a deep breath in and just fill yourself, your whole being, with that energy, with that intention, with that solar intention, aka New Year's resolution. What is your solar intention? How do you want to show up to the world in this solar cycle ahead? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Now, with that intention, I encourage you to go ahead and lie back. Just turn around and go ahead and lie back. So every day I model the laying back for you, but I am going to stay sitting up. And I'm going to hold space for all of you who are tuning in with me live, and hold space for all of you who are tuning into this at a later time. I'm offering my heart and to hold space for all of you. Go ahead and just lie back. And give yourselves at least 1 minute. If you can give yourselves 1 minute, 10 minutes, or 1 hour, lie back and allow your body, all of your 30 trillion cells, allow them to shift frequency the same way that you have shifted your heart frequency. Turn yourself and shift so that your body, so that your frequency is allowed to change, so it's allowed to adjust. Lying still, stillness is a part. Oh, blessings, okay. Greetings. Thank you for being here. Allow yourself the stillness, and so that you can transform, so that you can transmute everything that you have just done. Yoga is not done when you have finished moving. Life is not done when you have finished moving. Sleeping and rest and peace and silence are a part of the process. They're a part of the process. The shift happens at the levels, at the layers that we're not in control of. when we are not in control of how our heart is beating, when we are not in control of our breath, when we're not in control of how our kidneys are functioning, how our hormones are pumping out, how our digestive juices are flowing, all the parts of the process that we are not in control of that happen on a subconscious level, on an automatic level, we have to allow the space for all of those parts of the process, for that divine wisdom, that intelligent, innate wisdom to take over and just allow it to do its work. So we're not done just because we're done moving, just because we're done breathing intentionally, because we're done moving intentionally. That it's finished when we allow ourselves the silence to just hold and just connect with that. So just relax your face, relax your head, your scalp, your neck, relax your shoulders, relax your chest and your stomach, relax your back, the middle of your back, of your upper back, relax your lower back. Relax your hips and just let your body open up there and just fall open. Relax your thighs and your knees. Relax your shins and your calves. Relax your ankles and your feet. Exhale and relax your arms. Just allow everything to just drop down. And release any energy that is no longer serving you to just drop down and release itself back into the earth underneath you. And just rest there for as long as you're able. And then when you get up and you draw your energy and your attention and your awareness and focus back into your body, hold that intention. Hold your heart space with that reverence and love and respect. The same reverence and love that you give to the things that you have the most value, that have the most value to you in your life. There is nothing more valuable that you will ever connect with in your existence here in your body than this space right here, than your actual heart space. That space was the beginning of your life process here, and it will be the last thing when you go. It records every single thing that ever happens to you in your life experience, and the energy and frequency of it goes with you, and it goes with you after you're done here in this body. So hold it in that reverence. At any moment, you can choose to reset, to shift, to change direction, and to shift your focus and to become anything that it is that you want. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you tomorrow at 11. Until then, you guys have an amazing day.